Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jimmy Butler is joining the Golden State Warriors, while Andrew Wiggins is heading to the Miami Heat in a trade deal. Jimmy Butler got what he wanted. He's being traded out of Miami and secured a new contract in the process. The Heat and the Golden State Warriors reached an agreement on a deal that sends Butler to the Bay Area, according to a person familiar with the negotiations, who spoke on Wednesday. Butler had helped lead the Heat to the NBA Finals twice before a strained relationship with the team that resulted in him being suspended 3 times in January. Golden State is making the trade by moving Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, Lindy Waters, and first-round draft picks, the person said, speaking to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity since the trade hasn't yet received league approval. Wiggins and Anderson will be going to Miami. It's not clear if Anderson will remain with the Heat. Schroeder is being traded to Utah, where the Warriors were on Wednesday night, and Josh Richardson is headed from Miami to Detroit along with Waters. PJ Tucker is also moving, having just been traded to Utah, but is now set to return to Miami, where he played in 2021-22. "My brother, man. I'm going to miss him, for sure," said Heat forward Nikola Jovic, who admired Butler. "I think a lot of guys here will. He's someone who did a lot for this franchise." The Heat will receive a protected first-round pick from Golden State, which is currently set to be a pick in this year's draft, but that could change based on final terms. Butler has already agreed to a 2-year, $113 million extension with the Warriors. "I'm really happy that he got what he wanted," Jovic said. "That bag's kinda really big." Golden State is Butler's 5th team after playing for Chicago, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Miami. His arrivals were celebrated in all of these cities, though his exits were not always smooth. With the Warriors, Butler will join Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, who were part of all 4 of the Warriors' recent championship teams and are hopeful of making another title run. The Warriors had a closed-door meeting on Wednesday as news of the trade was coming out. Coach Steve Kerr spoke with the team during the time that the locker room is typically open to reporters before games. The Warriors ended up losing to Utah 131-128. "Our guys were in the locker room getting ready to play and all of a sudden we're saying goodbye," Kerr said. Butler's split with the Heat had been building for months. The main issue was money. He was eligible for a 2-year, $113 million extension, but the Heat never offered it, mainly because he missed about 25% of the games during his time with Miami. The relationship broke down completely by the end. When Butler said in early January that he didn't expect to find joy on the court with the Heat again, he was suspended for 7 games, which was the final straw in a series of incidents the team labeled detrimental conduct. The situation got worse. Butler was suspended 3 times in January, the second time for missing a team flight and the last time for leaving a shoot-around early after learning he wouldn't start a January 27 game against Orlando. That was the end. "There was a lot said by everybody, except for me, to tell you the truth," Butler said after his first game back following the first suspension. "We'll let people keep talking. The whole truth will come out." What happened to the Kevin Durant-Jimmy Butler 3-team blockbuster trade? On Tuesday, reports emerged that the Golden State Warriors were working on a trade that would reunite them with Kevin Durant and send Jimmy Butler to the Phoenix Suns. Unfortunately, however, the deal never materialized. Instead, the Warriors ended up trading for Butler from the Miami Heat. In the deal, Miami received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker and a 2025 first-round pick. The Utah Jazz and Detroit Pistons were also part of the transaction, with Dennis Schroeder joining the former, and Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson heading to the latter. Any hope of a Durant trade to the Warriors was extinguished with the deal. It's also worth mentioning that Shams Charania of ESPN reported after the Butler trade that KD is staying in Phoenix, as the Suns remain committed to building a contender around him and Devin Booker. With that said, many might be wondering, what happened to the Kevin Durant-Jimmy Butler three-team blockbuster trade? According to ESPN, the negotiations for Durant fell through after the Suns star informed the team he did not want to return to Golden State. Apparently, the Warriors, Suns, and Heat were close to a deal before Durant made his stance on a Golden State reunion clear. The Warriors, Heat, and Suns had been nearing an agreement on a trade that would have landed Butler in Phoenix and Durant back where he won championships in 2017 and 18, the report further stated. It remains to be seen if Durant's decision to stay with the Suns is the right move. As for the Warriors, they have certainly moved on quickly and are now focused on keeping their season alive with Butler alongside Steph Curry. Report: Miami Heat have been direct about their interest in Kevin Durant on multiple levels. Phoenix Suns forward Kevin Durant is one of the older players in the NBA at 36, yet he's still scoring the ball with an incredibly impressive combination of volume and efficiency. He is averaging 26.9 points per game while shooting 52.4% from the field and 39.8% from three-point range this season. With Durant still playing at a high level despite his advanced age and the Miami Heat facing offensive struggles this season, fans of the team shouldn't be caught off guard by a report that Miami has been direct about its interest in Durant on multiple levels. As I've posted on Off the Floor, the Miami Heat have inquired about Kevin Durant's availability, in light of the prospect that the Golden State Warriors would flip Jimmy Butler to the Suns for him, a post on X from 5 Reasons Sports reads. Making it happen is another matter. But they've been direct about their interest, on multiple levels. Miami's offensive numbers so far this season suggest that the team is in need of some scoring punch. The Heat's offensive attack to this point has been mediocre at best. First off, the Heat are averaging just 111.0 points per contest through 48 games. Only 8 NBA teams are scoring fewer points on a game-to-game basis, and several of those teams are among the worst in the league in terms of record. Furthermore, Miami has just one player averaging 20-plus points per game this season, and that's Tyler Herro, who is scoring 23.8 while shooting 46.7% from the field and 39.1% from deep. Meanwhile, the Heat may be experiencing the end of the Butler era, as the deadline for the veteran to be traded is Thursday. It's been a long time since he last suited up for the Heat, as his last game came when Miami took on the Portland Trail Blazers on January 21. He is currently suspended. However unlikely it may be, if Durant ends up getting dealt to the Heat before the deadline, they would mark his 5th NBA team. He probably had his most successful seasons in the league with the Oklahoma City Thunder and Warriors. Durant won the only MVP award of his career to this point during his time in Oklahoma City and captured 2 NBA titles during his stint alongside Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and company in Golden State. And you fan? What do you think of the Kevin Durant situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.